Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. I hope you're having a good one. So there's been a lot of news today. There's been a lot. Like a lot. Um, let's get to the bad news first. So Ethereum has been taking a hit for the past like month. Apparently there are whales that are actually just dumping Bitcoin, dumping Ethereum. But I wonder who they are. I mean, they're dumping. I mean, they've been dropping like 5,000. I think today was like 5,000 Bitcoin. I mean, 5,000 Ethereum, which is nuts. So there's downward pressure. What else happened? The U.S. economy is going to have a lot of reports today. I covered that earlier today. PPI, CPI, all that good stuff. That's expected to actually affect all markets. I think all that's going to happen is that it's going to bolster the idea that in not too long from now, a month, give it, we're going to have rate cuts. Now, JP Morgan, Citi, Wells Fargo, Bank of America all think that there is going to be some steep rate cuts, like 50. They're thinking 50 basis points. I don't know. Like, I don't know if you could get away with 25 and then do 50 in the following. I think if you start with 50, everybody's going to continue to expect 50. So I think that would be a problem because too much too fast. And to me, that seems like it seems like not a knee jerk reaction, but a reaction to everybody's opinion rather than what numbers are in front of you. So I'm hoping that Powell and team kind of stick to it, right? Because I don't necessarily agree with a 50 basis point rate cut. I'm just not. I'm just not there. I'm not there at all. So that's like a big deal to me. The SEC is going after this company Novatech. Apparently, it's a part of a $650 million scam. You know how I tell you guys to do your own research? This is one of the reasons why. This is one of the reasons why. And they're not the other one. There's another company that's I think it's like 200 something million that's also being accused of a scam. You've got this whole QR code thing where they're sending you a QR code, you scan it and it authorizes it. It gets you this close to authorizing a transaction because they're sending you a QR code for a request. So don't just be out there scanning QR codes because you think it's cute. Don't do that. Don't do that. I had been contemplating, dropping some merchandise and having the QR code, for the company, on the t-shirt. And now I'm like, I mean, it could work because they can see the company name and everything else like that. This is something that you would find on a sticker somewhere, right? You ever go to a gas station and there's a QR code thing, or go someplace and you expect it to be a QR, there is a QR code. Look closely to see if there's somebody stuck a sticker over the original QR code. If you see a sticker over the original QR code, don't scan it. If you don't trust the place that you're scanning the QR code, don't scan it. Don't let curiosity, kill a cat. I mean, unless you're on a burner phone or on a device that you don't care about, that it's got nothing on it. Sure, you want to test it out, go ahead. I know some people that actually, have that. But yeah, don't be more cautious. Be more cautious when it comes to that kind of stuff because it can be dangerous. It can be very dangerous, you know. So I'm just letting you know because that's a new scam. There has been in one case, it's been what is it, $120,000 stolen from users that fell for it. So yeah, be mindful of that. Something else that's curious. It was a young man over at Citi, led the digital assets area, did a lot of tokenization for the private banking area, up and resigned. Gonna go look at, Web3 jobs, crypto jobs. And I'm like, whoa. That would be a huge pickup for any company that's out there to have that person that comes with that kind of insider knowledge and experience. Hello, Captain Banana. So there's that. Then On wildly good news, Marathon Digital is going to raise $250 million to do what? The heck you think? To go buy more Bitcoin. To go buy more Bitcoin. How's that one? Captain Banana, how's the arm? So I find that to be very, very interesting. There are a lot of things that are going on that can make you stop and go, we're down right now. How long can we stay down? I don't know. I don't know. Was getting into a conversation with Ty earlier. Because remember, I was calling him greedy because he wanted an additional 20%. But I thought he meant from the drop to have it drop another 20%. Right? Because my question that night was, did you buy on the dip? And he was like, nah, I'm waiting for another 20%. Well, he got it kind of, right? But it went up and then came back down. So that's not, to me, that's not another 20%, right? Because I could have bought on this dip. It went back up. I see a slight pullback. I sell and it came back down. Buy back in. Because I have wallets that I trade with and I have wallets that I hold with. Right? So that's what I was talking about. So I thought he was being greedy, asking for another 20% drop from the point at which we had already dropped. So he and I might have to have another conversation about this. Because to me, it doesn't count as another 20%. I mean, the high, the recent high was what, 62, 63? It's not a 20% drop. Right? 63 to 57. I guess 6%. It's 10% drop. So Ty, you did not get your 20%. You got another 10. And you didn't even get another 10. Because it went up, came down. Not as far down as it was before. So you figure it came down to get to that point, you know. Well, you're online now, Ty. Let's go. Let's get it. But yeah, it's only another 10%. But you said you didn't buy the last time, so that means you only got the 10 from now. You know what I mean? Because my question was, did you buy on the dip? And you were like, no, you're waiting for your extra 20%. So back up and then back down, or did you buy both? You know what I mean? Like that's where we missed our wires, is what we were talking about. But you know, listen, you got 15. I'm not gonna be mad. The whole point is to grow the bag, right? The whole point. You know, Captain Banana, you didn't answer me. I asked you, how's your arm doing? How's it going? You know, we care about our people. Just saying. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. You know, to answer tonight's question, I'll answer it when I close the poll. But tonight's poll is, did you buy on this correction? Because to me, this is just a correction. 10%, it's a correction. 20%, okay, now we're talking about a dip, like a major dip. ARM is doing well. Hold on, let's hit that. ARM is doing well as it can, trying to get over my movements from yesterday. Yeah. You can't overdo it. And because you think, oh, I could do this now, and you do it, and you wake up the next day and you're paying for what you were able to do now. Yeah, I've been there. Patience and time. Do your exercises. That'll get you better. Just saying. You should ask them about using a TENS device to help with healing, if that would help, if that would speed your recovery. I know it helped with me, so. But you know, I probably had a different injury. I didn't break my arm. I had shoulder surgery. So yeah, when I'm looking at these markets, I'm like, yeah, you know, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, Citi, Bank of America, all saying, yeah, we expect things to, you know, to hit, you know, like 50 basis points. I'm like, yeah, that's a bit much. That's a bit extreme. Because we went up 25 like forever, right? Why do you need 50 on the way back down? I think that's a point where people are thinking, okay, I'm going to be greedy. I'm going to beg for 50. I'm going to keep begging for 50. I'm going to see if I can push them to give me 50. And then everybody else jumps on the bandwagon. All jump on the 50 basis point bandwagon. I think that's like the dumbest thing. You know what I mean? Like dumb. Because why would you do that? So I'm just wondering, like, what? There is no wondering why you would do that. It's to their advantage. But anybody searching for something, searching for that 50, come on. Come on. Why do you need 50? You're panicking because of the rest of the world? Why? United States has a strong economy. Stronger than. We don't necessarily have a strong economy with $35 trillion in freaking debt. Joaquin, what's up? So yeah, I'm thinking about that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, you know what I mean? But, it's interesting to me that we have another, institutional or traditional financial person bouncing over to crypto. I wonder if that's the move. D Mac and I have been having an online conversation about, the tech, because I mentioned that this morning, how, banking technology is so far behind. I mean, literally, they do have applications that are written in COBOL, which is based in 1959. Thank you, D Mac. What's really funny is when I was in school, what was the first language I learned? I learned two, Basic and COBOL. I mean, they weren't teaching me how to be a developer. I mean, I was a kid in school, but those were the two languages that they put in front of us. And so to me, I thought it was interesting, right? I thought it was interesting. And to look back now that I'm, only slightly older, and realize that they're still running off that same technology. I want you to stop and think about that. They're running off the same technology. Yes, they're mixing in other newer technologies, but they still have systems running on antiquated technology. And the insurance industry is way older than that. Like the joke of the financial industry is that the insurance industry, which is a part of the financial industry, but not really considered, insurance trails by 20%, by 20 years rather. I mean, I was someplace working on a major project, and they had applications built using Excel. Now, I built an application using Excel, but I'm also not a multi-billion-dollar organization whose calculations were based off of Excel. And even worse, anybody could get to the document, and it was unlocked. That was a Sarbanes-Oxley major freaking problem. Major freaking problem. So I was shocked. I mean, it was corrected, but still shocked. It's always late to the game. Always late to the game. And when you look at the financial industry now, I'm wondering when the next bank is going to arise where every single piece of technology in that bank is new. Settlements, blockchain. Tokenization, blockchain. Transactions, blockchain. I'm just saying. Think about that. Think about how that could work. A new bank leveraging new technology. And I'm not saying all the technology needs to be brand spanking new, but it should be all of it should be less than 10 years old. 10 years or less. Imagine what kind of bank that would be. Transactions would happen like that. I mean, I mentioned today during that conversation with D-Mac that I was like, the idea of Venmo, Zelle, other applications like those, that was their response to blockchain. That was their response. But have you ever looked at those applications? So if you look at your bank account that's actually tied to one of those applications, if it happens over the weekend, processing. It's just processing. It's not actually an instant transaction. It's waiting to traverse. And I just sit there and I just go, oh, that's interesting, guys. Telling you, the first bank that shows up, and again, I've been saying this for a while, you must redefine what a bank is. Redefine that. You put your money in the bank right now, what do you expect to get? Back when you were a kid, you expected to get some interest rates and some pretty decent ones. You're not going to get that now. You're not going to get that now. You have to pay them to hold your money and allow you to access your money while they make money off of our aggregated money. And they charge you for that. The interest that they pay you does not cover the fees that they charge you. For most of the banks out there. I'm not going to say all, but for most of the banks out there, that's the way it rocks. You got to redefine what a bank is. Where do I want to hold my money? If I want to hold my money somewhere, why wouldn't I just get a non-custodial wallet and just hold Tether or Circle, USDC or USDT? Excuse me. Why not? Why not? You can find ways to stake those. So why not? They're pegged. You can earn more. You can earn more in staking. I could do that and be okay. Earn more than my bank is paying me. Earn more than I would get from, let's say, a money market. Even do those anymore? Mutual funds? Why? ETFs? Have to see which one. Do some research. Run the numbers. But redefine banking. What do I use a bank for? I use a bank for loans. Okay, where else can I get loans? Airlines starting to use blockchain for cargo replacing 1980 programs. Yep. Isn't it easier to track things with? I can track things with an NFT. I could just keep it moving like that. No, every single place where this thing has been, just scan it. Beep. Signs in, all that stuff. I know exactly where my bag is. Question is, the question was never, in terms of cargo, it's just faster. Now imagine how automated that could be. Imagine if everybody moved to the blockchain and how automated that would be. Everything would be a smart contract, right? Smart contract says you put your stuff on there. You've now given control over to these people. You've now given control so that you could always track who's in control of, and you always know who's last. My bank has virtual tellers. Hold on, I can't. They really got to work on this freaking interface. It's annoying as hell. I literally have to hit space and enter just so I can read what everybody's saying. My bank has virtual tellers, excuse me, in 2 lanes. Why am I holding my money there? I can't even. Oh, I don't know why Buffett sold so much Apple. He dumped a lot. He dumped Apple for tech. He dumped a couple other techs, and he dumped banks and went cash heavy. Buddy is sitting on $277 billion. And Hutanik, you're holding your money there because you haven't figured out, or maybe you have. You're really smart. But you haven't acted on how much money do I have to have cash-wise. And the truth be told, it's kind of like if I have to have cash, right? Why am I going to keep it in the bank? I'll get back to that in a second time. Give me a moment. Why am I going to keep that in the bank? Get a fireproof box, stick it in a fireproof box. Dig a ditch, put it there. Something. But why am I going to put it in a bank and have to pay that bank? I mean, every time you hit that, we'll charge you no fees if you keep this amount in, this amount in, this amount in, this amount in. Doesn't it feel like it just keeps going up? Doesn't it just smell like doesn't it smell like that? Always want something. Take, never give. And they make a lot of money off your money. So why am I going to keep money in a bank? If people realize that they could store their money in something like USDC and get staking, make 5% a year, and it's pegged to the US dollar, it's backed by, real reserves, probably going to wind up being regulated. Just saying. You sit there and you're kind of like, why am I using a bank for that? For savings, like for holding my money? And these days, what does savings mean? Not just banking, what does savings mean? You have a checking account, you have a savings account, you can swish swash between the two of them. But what is savings? You're still not giving me enough money over there to cover my banking expenses. I've got to hold like what, $3,000 or something like that, $2,500 in some banks. Some banks even more to get no fees. What the F? That's what I'm saying. I think we all need to take a step back and just go, so what do I actually need from a bank? What do I actually need? All right, I need to buy gas. Do I need to hold my money in the bank for that? I can just go buy a debit card, right? A prepaid debit card, and fill it whenever I need it, refill it. I'm having just enough. Okay, so that's one idea. I need to get gas. I need to get food. So you literally just sit back and go, how much money, how much cash do I need for the next 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, 4 month, whatever number you put on it? How much cash do I need? And you say, okay, I'll keep that much cash wherever I can use that cash. Maybe you're smart enough and you say, you know what? I'm going to use a credit card for all of those transactions, right? Costco credit card is awesome, right? You can go get your gas. You get a discount on the gas. You get points for the gas. You can get your food there, get points for that. You get 2 checks at the end of the year. Just saying. So you're actually getting paid to use the card. And what you do is you keep enough cash so that you can pay the monthly bill every month, which helps your credit, obviously. But what's going to be credit? When we have true adoption, what's going to be credit? Told you, credit card companies are going to have a problem. Now, I have been keeping 3 months worth of cash to flow my business. Now I'm moving to 2 to 1 and then 1 to 1. Yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you. Because it makes a ton of sense. A ton of sense. Use a credit card, pay all your bills, get the points, pay the bill at the end of the month. Or pay the bill. There's like a trick that you do so that you drive your credit score even higher. You pay you basically pay before you get the bill. Right? You don't pay on the due date, you pay on the statement date or something like that. And I think that's what it is. Now, Buffett is expecting downturn. He's expecting downturn. He's expecting to be able to pick up some pearls. Think about it. Retail hurting, right? So who is it? We have Home Depot tomorrow, which will give us another idea about retail. We'll have Walmart on Thursday. Again, more information on how retail is going. But we already know retail and restaurants are hurting. People aren't going out as much. They're hoarding their money. They're doing a lot of things. People that have money, like to spare, they're still kind of going on vacations. They're still doing stuff. But as working folk, yeah, we're hoarding our money. Just we ain't got time for that. Nope. We ain't got money for that. We ain't got money for that. I spent like a lot of money on a birthday a couple of weeks ago. Oh my God, it was so painful. I saw that bill. I mean, I was ready for it. I knew almost to the penny how much it was going to cost that night. Almost to the penny. So I was prepared. And I was like, oh, I should pay cash. No, idiot, don't pay cash. Use your card. Use your card. Get the points. Because there's your discount. Pick out the points that are right for you and get the discount. You know what I mean? You pay the money. You pay the money up front, and then you get your discount check at the end of the year. And let me tell you, that discount check is nice. It's nice. Dead serious. Straight up. It's nice. So when I look at everything, I just kind of sit there and kind of go, yeah, There's a way we have to redefine what savings is, because I think savings has gone away and everybody's just focused on investment. That idea of short-term savings has gone away because the banks took it away. I don't know if people actually realize that, but banks took that away, right? When you were younger, you could get a savings account, and the savings account actually gave you substantial interest. It was never anything huge, but that you got substantial interest. And now you get almost nothing, even if it's in a savings account. What's the difference between the two? Oh, you're most likely going to keep your savings account growing, which means they'll have access to more money. This checking account, it's always going to be churning. But other than that, there is no difference between the two. They still make money off your money. You want to know why the law was passed so that banks had the cash checks within 24 hours? Because they were making money for every day that they held your money. Every day that they made you wait for no reason. Now they make you wait, but there's a reason. Well, because they can't move any faster. Their settlements don't move that fast. So you come down to it. Now let's get to Mr. Buffett. Mr. Buffett is waiting for all of those opportunities to actually bubble up. Because, he doesn't buy small. He buys big. So at $277 billion, over $250 billion just sitting there waiting. Because he thinks there's going to be a downturn. That's why he's so cash heavy. Look at how much cash he had in 2022 versus how much cash he has now. I think it's like double. I think he raised it like 250%. Wow. Yeah, Hutanic, savings is moot. Unless you're Warren Buffett and you're putting your money to the side and you're waiting to snatch up a big company because they're hurting. Look at how many big companies are hurting. Some companies didn't make enough money. Other companies didn't make money. If Warren Buffett wanted to, he could go out and he could buy Bitfarms. He could buy Riot. He could buy a lot of companies that are out there. He's waiting. He wants people hurting before he pulls a trigger. And it'll be 3 months before we find out that he's pulled the trigger on something. Think about that. It'll be 3 months before we find out. A quarter. And sometimes he's slick. They know when to pull the trigger, and it'll be at the end of a quarter or at some point in a quarter where it goes longer than 3 months that he doesn't have to say anything. He just did that a little while ago. I think a few months ago I had said that they did that. It was like he got to wait like 2 quarters or something like that. So imagine what you could buy with $277 billion. How many you could buy? How many companies are out there that are less than $1 billion? That means I could take $250 billion, still have 27 billion left in the bank, take the $250 billion and go buy $251 billion companies. Damn. But then you've got to think, what's going to be popular? What's going to be, the next one using his judgment that's going to be a long-term player? Makes you stop and wonder. I wouldn't want to touch anything that Elon has touched. I would feel sullied. Rick Ritchie, what's up, my dog? What keeps countries from printing their own money to buy Bitcoin? Buffett is making moves. Mr. Buffett take advantage of any loophole he can. All rich people do. But you know what Buffett says? Listen, make me pay the right taxes. I got no problem with that. I tell my kids that all the time. If I have to pay more taxes, it means I'm making more money. Now it's up to me and my accountant, my CPA, my tax attorney to go find and take advantage of all the loopholes that I can, because it's legal. The more money you make, the more loopholes that are available to you. Period. Anybody telling you otherwise is trying to sell you a bridge in Brooklyn. It's not. It's probably not even a cool bridge. It's probably like some crap bridge. Yeah, but you need to make money to get it, to be able to take advantage of those loopholes. Go look up the Augusta rule. That's one of the most interesting loopholes I've ever heard of. Go look up the Augusta rule. Everybody knows about the farm rule, about the whole farm thing. Buy a farm, produce X amount, and you're considered a farm, and boom. The vineyard thing, go buy X amount, go buy a vineyard, make X amount of wine. Doesn't even have to taste good. Make X amount of wine, and boom, you're a vineyard. Get the tax write-offs. Wow. That's why you see a lot of rich people doing wines. That's why I see a lot of rich people doing wines. Just saying. So when I look at crypto, and I look at real estate, and I look at, owning a business, going partnership into a business, I look at all of those things. How much money am I going to make? What's the return on investment? How painful is it going to be? All that stuff. Most people don't stop and think. They just go, oh, I'm going to start a business. Why don't you do some research on what that means? What it actually means. Because I'm pretty sure Hutanik and I can tell you some serious stories about owning your own business. I'm going to own my own business because I can make my own hours. Yeah, no. You don't make your own hours. Your business makes your hours for you. Want to make more money? You're going to put in some more hours. You're going to learn how to work smarter. You're going to learn how to do that. So I make it incredibly easy for my clients to pay me, right? PayPal, credit card, cash, crypto. And I prefer crypto. And I make it loud and clear. I prefer crypto. Start a church. Ask Scientology. Damn real. Start a church. Yep. Start a flippin' church. That's right. That is absolutely right. You want to hear something really crazy, though? One of the best businesses to own, after all my research, one of the best businesses to own, liquor store. It's a liquor store. Because at the end of the day, you're only a salesperson for the liquor companies. But there are so many revenue streams that you have with the liquor store. The bigger the store, the better. Why? Because just like a grocery store has end caps, you sell the advertising space. Those end caps are advertising space. And you sell the you lease the advertising space. That's pure money. Off the bottles, they tell you what percentage, they basically tell you the percentage you're going to make. The liquor store down the street sells this for $10. You're only going to be able to sell it for $10 to be able to make that profit. That profit, will get you around 10%. Solid every year, 10%. Right? But at the end of the day, if you want to, you could sell that business and make money off of it. But you're making a solid 10%. But then you have your end caps. And then you have your website. And you can have the liquor companies pay for it all. Anything to do with marketing, you can have the liquor companies pay for it. Just saying, liquor stores, that's big money. So churches, liquor stores, you could start a bank. You could do bank in a box. Fiserv has all the software that you need to start a bank. Most people can't take owning a business. They can't. That's why most people are employees. And that's, so as an employee, you become an investor. You work your 9 to 5 and you invest. Right? Just look up the 4 quadrants. I think Robert Kiyosaki wrote a book about the 4 quadrants too. It's a pretty good book. I listen to it again every now and then, just again. I don't like necessarily what he talks about now, but the lesson about the 4 quadrants, the lesson about the work ethic, not bad. Not bad. Not going to be mad about that. It took me 15 years to show a profit. Yep. Sort of. Right? Because there are benefits to owning your own business. There are certain benefits that but I tell people when they want to start their own business, you should be interested and get to know somebody that already has a business and see if you can get them to mentor you. teach you what they already know. I have a friend of mine, Joe Stagner, great dude. He says, funny thing about 20 years experience. Takes 20 years to get it, unless somebody that already has 20 years shares their experience with you. Yup. So I have a lot of mentors. Even to this day, I have a lot of mentors that teach me about different things at different levels of business. So that when I'm evaluating a business, I know what I'm looking for. I look at a bodega, one of those little corner stores. Those little corner stores walk away with $250,000 a year and only claim some of it. Smart enough to keep their inventory fuzzy. You know what I mean? They pay enough in taxes that, okay, we get it. Do things like keep the lottery machine, do things like that. You can make money off a store like that. You can make good money. But people don't pay attention to, they think everything's got to be big money. I'm happy if a business is making me $10,000 a year. I'm looking for publications to buy. Don't know why? Because half the money they make is off the website, and the website is actually one of their biggest expenses. I own a web hosting company, so it costs me jack-ish to host it myself. So all of that money comes back to me. I no longer have to pay that out. So if I cut a deal with this, publication, right? And they make half the money online or whatever percentage of money online, I cut them in on, I'm going to pay you back I'll pay you out over X number of years. I look at all their expenses and that whole wad comes out. I don't care if it's, $500 a month, $1,000 a month that I save. That's great. That's great. Because I now have a business. I'm actually making it better because I've upgraded the technologies. I've done a whole bunch of stuff that make it run more efficiently. And all I have to do is pay them based off of the income that's there. I can choose to pay them faster, get them out of my hair. But a lot of people, they have these businesses. You want to know who's the businesses that are getting scooped up right now? The same way that these, private equity firms, venture capital firms are snatching up neighborhoods, they're snatching up the trade companies. Plumbing, heating, electricity, a little bit of construction. They're snatching up all those companies. Again, the moat around the wealthy is becoming bigger. The bar that it's going to take for you to be able to buy your own home is being raised. It's going to be a problem. Best investment is the blockchain. Just hold and wait. You could say best return on investment. Best return on investment. Think about, I was joking around with one of my friends. He has a show. He has a car channel where he talks about fixing cars and all that stuff. Tells you all kinds of stuff. One of his shorts went completely viral, and he's making money. If you look at the two of us, what's the difference between the two of us? Nothing. We went to the same junior high school, same high school. He went to college to become an engineer. I didn't go to college. I went straight to work. But we're two kids from the hood, and we both had the same idea. If we start a channel now, and we keep going with that channel in 5 years, and we grow, it's better than working at Walmart. Gives me something to do, better than working at Walmart. Sounds funny until you stop and think about it. A few hours a day, doing something I like to do, and I get paid. There's another business. Return on investment? What? 100%? I mean, remember Hutanic? I had to go get new software, I had to get a new computer, all this blah, 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 blah. Remember that? But really? It turns out to be basically a 100% return. But yeah, you have different revenue streams and you figure out where you want your money. How do you want, you could have a little bit in real estate, a little bit, in this business, a little bit in crypto, a little bit in traditional, like, stocks, bonds, options, all that stuff. Boom, there's my investment portfolio. And I'll do something like this on the side. Never really working anymore. Your crypto's going to, buoy up, make you big money. You could live off of that. But if it keeps making you money and you make money off your channel, or you make money off of one of your businesses that you like doing, I mean, what do I really need for a liquor store? It's a transient business, meaning that your employees are going to be transient. They're going to be in and out. Because what do you need? Cashiers, stock boys. You're not looking for rocket scientists. Marketing? You don't really need marketing. Even the big stores, they spend a lot of money on marketing. They don't really need it. None at all. None at all. So you think about what it takes to start the business or buy the business, what it takes to pay off and all that stupid stuff. And you start to realize that I'm diversifying my risk, right? I'm just spreading my risk with different vehicles to make money. See, I got to hit space again and enter. Looking at what businesses are available, I think liquid staking on Cardano is better than the business I am in. Highly possible. Don't know what business you're in, but there are a lot of businesses for sale. There are a ton of businesses for sale. The problem is that these small businesses are going through business brokers, and because they don't know how to sell their business, so they go through brokers. And I'm like, I don't want to go through a broker. I'm going to pay somebody to do nothing. I had an opportunity to buy 3 publications, but because the broker didn't actually know how to broker a deal, I lost out on all 3 publications. All 3. And the first one that I was looking at, I could have made an easy 60 grand a year. An easy $60,000 a year after expenses. Before taxes, but after expenses. And you sit there and you're kind of like, damn, that's a lot of money. And remember, that business is paying one of my other businesses for service. The whole web hosting thing, yeah, they're paying that business for service. Oh, you need marketing, advertising? They're paying my business for service. Oh, you need an address? You don't need a business address. I can do that out of my house. I don't really need a business address. So whatever you're paying for real estate, I don't need that. Everybody work from home. Even if you paid for, everybody's internet access, I'll pay for a gigabit of speed in your house. I'm only going to pay for internet, but I'll pay for gigabit speed. You'll spend way less than rent. So there are ways that you can actually make a business far more efficient. People don't understand how to make that business efficient. So they throw their hands up and try to sell the business. That's what I'm talking about. Opening a business is easy. It's just the headache that comes with it. Let me see. Secret to investing is invest in the right blockchain. Everybody goes back to the same revenue stream, blockchain, crypto. I told you before, I do not put all my money into crypto. I do not believe that people should put their money have all their eggs in one basket. So as much as I talk ish about real estate, I'll buy real estate just so I can diversify my risk, spread out my risk. It's a different way of making money. And depending on how you treat your real estate, the value of that real estate is going to go up. It used to, back in the day, it doubled every 10 years. Not bad. Now, if you've got renters, if you buy a building and it's got, renters in there, I mean like a tenement, like more than 6 family, right? And you rent that out. It means you're making money all the time. You give it to a management company to manage everything. You don't even think about it. You just get your check. You don't have to deal with the day-to-day. You check in every month. What's going on? What's good? Get your check, cash it. Or get your check, put it in the bank. And you keep it moving. Let that piece of real estate work itself. Use that piece of real estate to go get another piece of real estate. Let it work itself. Use that piece of real estate to go get another piece of real estate. Let it work itself. Take those 3 pieces of real estate, flip them all, and then get something bigger and let it work itself. Different in the real estate game. Now, you guys know I believe in blockchain. I really do. But I don't think it's the end all. That's why Grow My Bag doesn't just focus on crypto. I love crypto, but I love crypto because I'm a geek. I'm a technologist. I love that stuff. But I'm not looking at it from just an investment perspective. I'm looking at it from an integration perspective. How can I integrate that to make a business run better? Have a membership business like you're running a little gym. I'm going to give you a card. I'm going to give you a QR code or an NFT, and that's how you're going to walk in. Boom, done. That's how I look at it. And then with regard to a business, it really depends on, what your likes and dislikes are for a particular industry. Don't buy a business that you're not willing to learn. Don't buy a business that you're not going to like. Some people will say, well, you don't have to like a business. But yeah, you do. If you want to do a good job, you want to like the business. You want to like the business that you're in. What is it? Decades ago, the Patels came here, bought a whole bunch of hotels, motels, a whole bunch of motels, really. And they just kept spreading out, buying more motels, buying more motels, buying more motels. Then they started branching up, getting bigger, buying nice low-level hotels, and kept going. That's a tough business to own, but here's how they did it. They would buy the hotel, the whole family would move in, live in a few of the rooms. You figure they've got the laundry on site, and the whole family worked the hotel. The whole family worked the hotel, so that means they didn't have to hire anybody, more money collected. Then as everybody started making more money, they would move out and buy their own hotel. Same thing. Family comes in, and next thing you know, you've got all these businesses running and running well. And everybody knows the hotel business. See how that works? There are lots of things you can do to make money. Lots of things you can do to make money. I make good money teaching people how to make their businesses more efficient. From technology to accounting, all that stuff. I help people make their businesses more efficient. That's what me and my team do. Technology is one of the things that we do to help businesses work more efficiently. Marketing, all that. So yeah, you sit back and you think about what kind of business am I going to own? But when I think about what kind of business I'm going to own, I'm looking for a project. Me personally, I'm looking for a project. How do you collect your money? First thing I'm going to do is make sure you accept blockchain, accept crypto, because that's the next step. Be ahead of the game. Even if nobody walks in the door and buys with crypto, let people know that it's available at the business, and you'll get people that are into crypto that will buy using crypto just because they can. Just because they can. That's what's up. And you start winning people over like that. Problem is, half of these businesses out here, or the bulk of the businesses out here, are mom and pop shops. And mom and pop shops don't have that mentality to say, let me be ahead of the game. So imagine if you walk down a neighborhood avenue, the avenue, and you can get all the shopkeepers to say, listen, it doesn't cost you anything to accept crypto. But if you make this whole strip accept crypto, you'll be the talk of the state. Everybody will flock there just because everything on this block can be bought using crypto. Think about that. And I'm not joking. I'm dead serious. If you just stop and think about that, that's actually true. You could walk in the door. I could walk in the door and say, look, listen, I don't want to take your credit card business. I don't want to do anything like that. I just want to help you accept crypto. I'm not even going to make that much money off of you accepting crypto, but you know what it'll do? It'll blow up my company, because we'd be the company that would be working with this whole avenue to accept crypto. And then you become known as the crypto space. If you look at how you pay for things at colleges, A lot of the systems that they're doing are very similar to crypto. Incredibly similar to how crypto operates. You put your money in, you get some credits. You can use these credits at different businesses around the way that are around the college. So why can't it just be crypto? That's a third-party business providing that service. That's taking money either from the business owners and or the students as well. Why? Just accept crypto. It's something that's based on reality. So yeah, I'm sitting back and I'm thinking, I'm looking at crypto as not just an investment vehicle, but how can it be leveraged in everyday life? Your medical records on an NFT. Take my medical records with me wherever I go. Never have to ask it. The doctor never has to say, do you have your stuff? Yep, boop, boop. Here you go. It's amazing how they treat it like it's their data and it's not. It's yours. User sovereignty is going to be a very big deal as we move forward in this crypto space. It's going to be a very, very big deal. Bigger than what most people think. I say this because this is why credit card companies are scrambling. They're scrambling to try to figure out how do they fit in, because user sovereignty is going to be a big deal. Oh, I want to use that website. Oh, you need certain information for me to use that website. I'll sign it using MetaMask or something else like that as your security backend. Boop, I'll sign in like that. I know what business I'm using. I know this, I know that. And you're adhering to my user sovereignty. You're not using my data. Imagine if we had user sovereignty when it came to social media or something like that. Hey, Bianca, figured you'd say hi at some point. So yeah, when you're looking at crypto, I try to tell you guys, don't just look at crypto from an adoption perspective, from an investment perspective, but also start looking at it from an integration perspective. The more crypto gets integrated into businesses, the bigger a deal it's going to be. So when you hear about banks, like who knew, not too many people knew that Citi was tokenizing things for, private banking. Oh, really? Didn't know that. Oh, okay. Some people knew, not everybody knew. Now you know. And it's not are going to tokenize. No, tokenized. Like did it already. And are doing it as a practice. Some of these banks are already knee deep in it. Again, look at Franklin Templeton. Look at some of these big banks that are doing some really big things. They're not just purchasing crypto. They're leveraging the technology behind it. So when I talk about XRP, Stellar, Polygon, Aave, Uniswap, Chainlink, and others, and Cardano, I think is going to be another one. Cardano is another one that I think is going to happen. Solana's the one that everybody's talking about right now, but Solana's got network issues. I keep telling you that. Cardano ain't got that. So when you start thinking about what businesses can use, there you go. There you go. And I sit back and I just go, yeah, this is why I'm involved in crypto, but from different, perspectives. I'm touching on each one of the facets of crypto so I can make as much money as possible. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie. Oh, wait. So it's 50-50 right now. Tonight's poll question was, did you purchase anything on the correction? My answer is yes. So I'm going to end the poll. It's 50-50, 5-5. We had 10 votes and it was 5-5. Now you know it's really 6-5 because I purchased some more on the dip, on the correction. Joaquin, hold on. Carbine Eddie had to watch one of your 60-second videos at 0.5 speed. Sometimes you get more points. Like this morning, I had like 2 more points I wanted to make in the crypto minute, and I couldn't fit them in. And I started to redo it because I do know how to talk fast and go. Why? Let's catch the rest of it on the real video. I'm not gonna stress myself over that anymore. Nah. But sometimes there's a lot of points. Sometimes there are a lot of points that you want to make. So anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I greatly appreciate it. If you're not a member yet, become a member, become a subscriber, and I hope you have a good day. Have a good one. Bye-bye, everybody. Hold up, Rick Ritchie. I just realized you just told me that I did not answer your question. What was the question again? See, this is what happens. It scrolls and I'll miss a question. And some people call me greedy. Like, oh, you're just trying to get money. Like, that's YouTube built this tool to generate money. Because remember, when you make money, they make money. When you have a channel, when you make money, they make money. They take 30%. That's why they have all those super stickers and all that stuff. That's how they built it. So what was your question, dude? I'm sorry. I didn't realize you actually asked a question. So that's why I came back on. Let me see if I can find all of your entries. What keeps countries from printing money? You mean like the United States? You mean printing money like the United States does, but using that money to go buy something? Hold on a second. I would not do that for you? Yes, I would. I asked you like 50 bazillion times and you refused to tell me what the question was. You're like, I asked you 5 times. There's nothing stopping them from doing that, except a lot of countries don't have that kind of firepower. Remember, United States is one of the few countries that can actually print money, as they say. Actually, we might be the only one that can print money. So that would be the answer. Cost of goods and services. Is that a question or a statement? Cost of goods and services. And what is the that you're referring to? Waiting. I'm petering out, man. You got to answer me. Because I don't understand the statement, the cost of goods and services. More money printed, the more shit costs. Yeah. That's what you meant. Yeah, I totally agree. I thought that's what you meant, but I didn't want to guess because then I'll guess wrong, and that's not cool. Japan is printing money now, and how is it working out for them? I'm not trying to be funny. How is it working out for them? It's not working out well. Japan's got multiple problems. Here are the 2 biggest problems. Their economy is hurting, and the young people are leaving. A lot of countries, the people are leaving. You ever hear about, oh, this country will pay you to move there? Uh-huh. Those are countries that are losing people in certain areas. The youngins are moving to cities, and they're not really moving far away from the city. So their world is changing. A lot of youngins are leaving countries. The world is changing. So they're trying to entice people to move here. We'll give you a house. We'll give you $60,000. We'll give you this. We'll give you that. Raise your kids here. So yeah, I don't think it's working out well for them, printing money. It doesn't work out well for us, right? At the end of the day, it doesn't work out well for anybody. Just go out there and print money. Dollar's not backed by anything. You're welcome, Rick Ritchie. Dollar's not backed by anything. Makes you stop and wonder about things, doesn't it? Straight up. So you start to realize that, wow, he's right. Money's not backed by anything. Like, what the hell? Japan could go to BRICS, but that makes up just another country that is screwed. And it's going to be tough for Japan to go to BRICS because China's involved with BRICS, and China, Japan, yeah, that's not a thing. That's not a love affair. It's not at all. So that's going to be tough. Anyway, everybody, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much. I'll speak with you guys tomorrow. I'm expecting there to be probably not so great news from Home Depot tomorrow. That's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting CPI numbers and PPI numbers to not be great. My pleasure. You're welcome. So there's that. Anyway, everybody have a great night. Have a good one. Oh yeah, wait a minute, Hutanic. Where's patient one? Where is patient one? Deliver my message. Where is patient one?